So what I like to do is, and I don't know how many videos I'm going to repeat this, but I like to go back down memory lane so we can understand how we got here. And even though he won his first title against the IBF title against Prince Charles Martin, Joshua Klitschko was the biggest fight of last year, depending on how you look at Mayweather versus McGregor. But it was a very, very good fight, very profitable fight in front of 90,000. And they are riding this Klitschko win to, to the heavens. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live, so here's the details. WBA Super World and IBF heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and WBO heavyweight champion Joseph Parker are going to be fighting either on March the 24th or March the 31st. Some bad news for you people over in the UK who've been throwing it in our faces over here in the US for a long time, but your pay-per-view prices are likely going to go up. We've been hearing it. We've been hearing the jokes and the rumors about it it's been about a year now. But since this fight is not likely going to be a stadium fight, they're going to make you pay more for it on pay-per-view. And once pay-per-view prices go up once, you can expect that later on, or as time goes on, this new price is going to be the trend for y'all. You see what I'm saying? So now over here in the United States, we're paying $100 for Mayweather fights if he ever fights again. First when they went to 75, we were like, God damn. But now, hey, listen, that's what it is now. Inflation. So we got to go back down memory lane once again to understand how we got here today. Please subscribe. As you can see, all the links to my social media are popping up. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. And it seems like, they're going to be, put it this way. This is a very good win. And yes, you do have the bragging rights to say, okay, well, we did this in front of, in front of 90,000. Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder hasn't done anything like this. And I understand the situation that Eddie Hearn is in because it seems like he's talking a lot about it. And a lot of people don't like what he has to say. But understand that, in his job, doing all these events with all these fighters, no matter where he's at, people are going to ask him about, well, what's going on with Joshua versus Parker? What's going on with Joshua versus Wilder? So, of course, he's going to keep saying the same shit in variations to a certain extent. Also, understand that Anthony Joshua has a large, loyal, casual fan base. Now, casual fans are good. Casual fans bring the money with ignorance. But as I said, with that ignorance, you get a lot of misinformation and you get a lot of propaganda. And for a promoter who's smart, which we learned Eddie Hearn is, and he's probably, in my opinion, the promoter of the year in 2017 with what he did with Matchroom USA, with putting, solidifying Anthony Joshua, with the building up of these stars and this stable that he has. He's been on a roll. But he also is very in touch with the social media generation. You can tell, and he uses it, to his advantage. That's why he's able to say all this stuff, and some stuff is contradictory. But he knows that Anthony Joshua, with this hardcore fan base, casual fan base, he does obviously has a lot of hardcore fans, but To the casual fans, he can do no wrong. To casual fans, you can't be critical of him. You can't say anything that's just not positive of Anthony Joshua. I've experienced it personally here. Like I said, hey man, listen, Anthony Joshua is good, but he got some stamina issues. He's bulking up too much. I've said shit like Anthony Joshua is like the super nice guy. His post-fight interviews always say the right things. You know, it be sounding fake sometimes. Not saying it is fake, but people, you know, his fan base come out of the woodwork saying he's not fake and everything. That's why I said before that after a Joshua fight, don't debate with nobody on the internet that you've never debated with before. Don't engage in any type of debates or any type of arguments about Anthony Joshua because they are casual fans. Casual fans. But casual fans are good fans. We need more of them to be hardcore fans. You see what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua does have his flaws. Ask yourself this question. What if he loses to Joseph Parker? There are some people that have to be objective, and they have to look at the fact that Klitschko was very good, but Klitschko was a 40-year-old man. Anthony Joshua was young. Joseph Parker's young. Now, am I saying Joseph Parker is better than Klitschko? Don't put words in my mouth. All I'm saying is that's his biggest win, and now he's in the deep end. Eddie Hearn can't really save him because if he doesn't continue this top competition, you know, then fans are going to turn on him eventually. Not the casuals, but hardcore fans. And the hardcore fans really do matter to an extent, especially when it comes to your reputation. You know? So Eddie Hearn is holding the keys. And of course, we had that whole social media thing that was going on with Anthony Joshua that was completely brushed under the rug. I mean, just swept under the rug, you know? But with the 2018 that Anthony Joshua was supposed to have, if he wins, right? He'll go on, or he should go on, you know, to fight and be undisputed, fight to be undisputed against the winner of Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, but he has to win. His WBA mandatory, he can go that route, right, is Alexander Povetkin. The WBA world champion, remember the WBA has 2 belts, is Manuel Charr. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah, they can sell that Povetkin fight. You know what I'm saying? Think like the promoters. Think like Eddie Hearn. They could sell that Povetkin fight, you know, if they feel like, well, we beat Povetkin when Wilder wouldn't fight him, you know? The storylines are already there. You know, Wilder wants 50-50. He's not going to get that. However, if you don't know, Joseph Parker and his team, David Higgins and Duco Events, they have agreed, you know, on a purse. So it's looking like Joseph Parker's going to get between 33 and 35% or so, you know? In my opinion, when you do unifications, it should be 60-40. But hey, that's a whole, you know, different fucking yellow brick road. We're not going to go down there. But Anthony Joshua is being monetized to no end. And yes, he should be. You know, fighters should make money. And he is very marketable. You know, but a guy like me, you can't, you know, you can't hit me. Eddie Hearn can't hit me with the boxing corporate fat cat, you know, lip wiggling, because he do talk a lot of jive. He is a very jive speaker. I'm saying he is very, very good on the microphone when it comes to selling his fighters. But it's starting to look like he doesn't want Deontay Wilder right now because it looks like a threat. And I'm talking about not Deontay Wilder in 2018. Other people are saying, well, you know, he's just trying to build it up. You know, he's just trying to build Joshua Wilder up to be like a super fight so they can put it in the stadium. That is true to an extent, but that's also casual fans talking. You see what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder is good. Yeah, his resume ain't shit, but he is good. He has shown that he's better than all of the fighters that Anthony Joshua has beaten outside of Klitschko. You see what I'm saying? Could Deontay Wilder have beat Klitschko? I don't know. Could Klitschko have beat Anthony Joshua in a rematch? Maybe. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, though. But one thing for sure is, in my opinion, Anthony Joshua is putting on too much muscle. Like, what for what? It seems as though he's getting slower, and he does have some conditioning issues when it comes to later in fights. Can Joseph Parker, you know, capitalize off of that? Joseph Parker, from what I've seen, from the Andy Ruiz fight, from the Carlos Takam fight, from the Fury fight, he is a pressure fighting, power punching type of heavyweight. So he don't really want to go out there and try to mix it up and my guy get his head probably torn off by that uppercut of Anthony Joshua. He wants to try to keep it on the inside and rough him up. You know, a fight where you're holding Anthony Joshua and all that may tire him down. This is a very, 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 very big fight for him. And also, there's supposed to be a rematch clause, you know? So the chips are against Anthony Joshua because win or loss, he still got big fight after big fight after big fight. And if you don't take these big fights, you know, meaning after Joseph Parker, if he wins, because Joseph Parker is good. You can't tell a casual fan that, though. They'll say, look at this Huey Fury fight. Look at the Andy Ruiz fight. But still, he's undefeated. You know, he can fuck it all up. What if Wilder loses to Ortiz and Joseph Parker beats Joshua? We would have an undisputed match between Joseph Parker and Luis Ortiz. But of course, with this Joshua versus Parker, it's a unification. I mean, it's a rematch clause, as it should be. You know, Klitschko made sure he got his rematch clause, and he made sure he held up Joshua to make sure you can't fight nobody else until I decide if I'm going to come back and fight you or not. Word has been going around that Klitschko is still kind of itching, you know, but maybe he don't want to taste that uppercut again. Many say that fifth round, he let Anthony Joshua off the hook. Now, I understand the narrative. The narrative is, I'm an American. So they're saying, oh, well, you're an American. You're against Anthony Joshua. No, it's not that. Truth be told, no matter what, hello, anybody wins or loses, whether it's Joshua loses, Wilder loses, Parker loses, Luis Ortiz loses, I still win. I do videos, get views. So I have no allegiances to none of these boxers. Truth be told, I don't care who wins or loses. I really don't give a shit. Yeah, I got a sweet spot for Chavez Jr. and George Groves, but that's different, right? Late March, early April, March the 24th, March the 31st, or whatever, what would it be, April the 6th or something like that. You know, it's going to be happening. Another big question is, will this fight possibly end up on HBO? Because Showtime Steven Espinoza feels that Anthony Joshua, the Showtime executive, head of Showtime Sports, the guy who's in charge of the fights on Showtime, feels that they're going to sign up Anthony Joshua soon. But Eddie Hearn is aligned with HBO now with Matchroom USA. You can't tell me that HBO is not in his ear like, yo, so can you give us Joshua? You know? And as we've seen, Joshua's last couple of fights, if I'm correct, HBO and Showtime have been bidding for him. HBO does have a big budget, but Showtime, and I'm sure Showtime will make sure they have enough money in their budget to make sure they get Anthony Joshua. But what if Anthony Joshua goes over to HBO? Then they'll throw a whole nother can of worms in it for Deontay Wilder. You know, if Deontay Wilder beats Luis Ortiz and Anthony Joshua beats Joseph Parker. You see what I'm saying? But American fans who are very high on Anthony Joshua seems as though they're starting to look at it. It's like, well, wait a minute. What happened to all this best fighting the best? Yeah, you're fighting Joseph Parker, but y'all was trying to lowball him. And I was talking about y'all had other options like to fight, you know, for your fight Manuel Char. You know, before Manuel Char beat Alexander Usanov, they was like, hey, Eddie Hearn said this. Hey, we can fight for that, our WBA mandatory. The WBA mandatory, they probably thought it was going to be Manuel Char, but now it's Alexander Povetkin, right? Alexander Povetkin is the WBA mandatory only likely because of his major financial backers. Like, we've talked about this in various videos. Like, he is a billionaire promoter, even though he's Rob Bensky. If I'm correct, he stepped down from the day-to-day operations or something, just a financial backer. But either way, very powerful promotional company over there in Russia. So, only time will tell. Like I said, we can expect for the fight to be officially announced soon. Yes, both sides have already said that the fight is done. They just want to get a venue and, you know, finalize the date and get these network things sorted out. But like I said, if we start to see that this network thing drags out too long with who's going to broadcast the fight over here in the States, then know that it's some bidding going on between HBO and Showtime. But like I said, man, don't be surprised if Joseph Parker wins. You know, don't be surprised. And I don't feed into, you know, this. Listen, I already know how it's going to be. When Anthony Joshua fans, they're in droves. He can do nothing wrong. He's a superhero to them. You know, to his hardcore fans, as they, you know, that's what it is when you have a hardcore fan base. Your fans ride for you no matter what. You know, but I don't feed into none of that crap. That's when people saying, y'all, mate, you don't know what you're saying and shit. Motherfuckers get on the comments and shit talking about some Anthony Joshua knock you the fuck out here. What do you say? You come over to the UK, you talking about Anthony Joshua, you gonna chat shit and get banged. Motherfuckers be pissed. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I can't report the news. But that's like that in boxing all over though, right? You know, it's like that in boxing all over. don't shoot the messenger. All right. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe. As you can see, all my social media is popping up at the bottom now. Please subscribe.